We're focusing on how IBM is advancing generative AI. Arvind Krishna, he is IBM chairman and CEO. He spoke with Wall Street Week host David Westin yesterday at the Milken Institute Global Conference in Los Angeles.
Exactly a year, I think, if I remember right, David, we announced it on What's the Next product at Think in May last year. And since then, the excitement in our clients, embracing the technology, getting the technology deployed, asking for expertise and getting projects going, I think all of that has been wonderful. Our inception to date book of business now exceeds $1 billion. That's pretty good for a year in, I think, and it speaks to the excitement. And I think what's even more, our clients are excited about what it does for them. You can see them beginning to use it for customer experience, for programming, or coding, as it's called, as well as for helping improve the enterprise. All of this put together is really exciting in how our enterprise clients are embracing the generative AI.
One of the things that people anticipate from generative AI is an increase in productivity. Are you finding that with your customers? Are they increasing productivity? And how do you measure that increase in productivity?
I think, David, it's both. I think increase in productivity is important, but productivity can be made into just cost cutting or efficiency. That's not the primary reason. The primary reason I think our clients are excited, can they get more business done while holding their costs somewhat in control? And so it's really about more of a revenue generator than productivity alone. Now, of course, it is a revenue generator because it's making you more productive. And I think that is what is exciting. Think about customer experience. Yeah, you may save $1 on somebody's time in a call center, but that's not why. If you can make the end client more satisfied, they got their answer quicker, they got a better answer, are they more likely to come back and do more repeat business? I think that's far more exciting.
There's a lot of discussion about how generative AI will grow and how it will evolve. You've really staked your claim on an open architecture, including for IBM, but also with Meta in your AI alliance. Tell us why that's important. Why is open architecture important in AI?
Look, it's always around how do you drive innovation? And in a case where people worry a lot about what is the fair use, what is the copyright, what is the IP protection of the data and methodology used to train AI, you have both those going on. So in order to drive open, what we are doing is we are taking some of our base models, as Meta has done, and we are putting them out under an open license called the Apache license, which means people are free to build upon it, and what they build upon is theirs. They don't have to give it back to us. When you care a lot about maybe some proprietary data inside an enterprise, and you use that to add skills to an AI model, and you can now say, oh, because yours is open, it's now mine, what is rest? I think it makes it a lot more interesting to the enterprise.
So IBM with Watson X is really pursuing enterprise-based AI. Does that get around the challenges of intellectual property? Because there are issues in consumer-facing about copyright, about what you're going to learn on. Is it the way it works for you, the customers using their own data to actually educate the model?
Absolutely. And we're just putting out, so you talked about open right now. We're also, right today and tomorrow, putting out a new technology, a really innovative technology called Instruct Lab. This allows our client to take one of ours or maybe somebody else's model, take it inside their enterprise, train it with some data and some methodology of their own, and then the layer on top inside Instruct Lab is theirs. It does not need to come back to anybody else. I think that gets rid of the whole question of copyright and fair use.
How does AI Alliance fit with possible government regulation? We have some moves in Europe. As you know, there's an executive order in the United States the Biden administration has put out. How do those two things fit together? Because you talk about standards as part of the AI Alliance.
I think every regulator is worried about three topics, not just safety and regulation. They're worried about innovation, they're worried about competition, and they're worried about safety and regulation. So when you take those three together, the AI Alliance and Open really come together to help you foment innovation. So I think that actually helps the regulators to think about what is going on here. While I'll caution, there will be some guardrails that are always put, but in my experience, open technologies have always been safer and more secure than closed technologies.
Is one of the risks that maybe you're obviating with your emphasis on open architecture that some of the, I'll call them big guys, get an advantage and really have an entrenched position?
Well, I'll use the concept of a walled garden. When you have a walled garden, have those areas and technologies been more innovative or less innovative? I'll assert the walled garden has always been less innovative. And so I think that it actually helps you create more competition. Does it avoid regulatory lock-in of a certain one or two players? Likely, but isn't that good for all of us?
Are you pro-regulation?
I am pro-regulation as long as it is light touch and allows innovation to happen. I absolutely would be pro-regulation. If regulation tries to reduce innovation, I think that's a problem.